Hi everyone, my name is Andy and welcome to All the Lonely Meeples. On this channel I share solo playthroughs of various board games, including tutorials on how to play. As always, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below. Today's video features the third game in my favorite roll and write series part 1, and that is Cartographers, a role-player tale, a 1 to 100 player game designed by Jordy Adan and published by Thunderworks Games. If you're ready, let's jump right in. Here are all the components you'll need for a game of Cartographers. You'll need one sheet from your stack of sheets. You'll need your 4 edict cards, A, B, C, and D. You'll need your season cards, spring, summer, fall, winter. Your ambush cards. Your 13 explore cards. And your scoring cards. And finally, you'll need a pencil or a dry erase marker. In Cartographers, you are a cartographer. And the Queen has asked you to survey the land, part of her land, which is shown here on this sheet. From A through K and 1 through 11, the grid, and we're going to be placing different terrain types from these Explore cards. I'll go into a little more detail on what's on the Explore cards, but basically there are different types of terrain that you can possibly choose from, as well as the shapes. Sometimes you have a choice, sometimes you don't. And as we do this, we're going to do this during a full year, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And at the end of each season, we'll score different objectives. The edict cards will be paired with the scoring cards that we've chosen at the beginning of the game. We'll be able to see them throughout the entire game and know what we're looking forward to. I love this game so much because when I score A and B for spring, as you see here, every edict is scored twice. So A and B in spring, B and C in summer, and then B will no longer be scored. Then C's, D's, and then A comes back at the very end. Now let's talk about the page itself. In the top grid, we have 2 defining features. We have dark squares with mountains and a coin, and we have light-colored pillars. Those are called ruins. The mountains will give us a coin if, while we are placing shapes and terrain, we cover the sides of the mountain, the top, the bottom, the left, and the right. When we do that, we cross off the coin. We come down here to this coin track, and we cross off the leftmost coin. What's great about that is every time we collect a coin, when the season ends, we're going to score that many coins, but they stay there the entire game. So let's say I cross off 3 coins, 1, 2, 3, in the first season. I'm going to score those 3 coins. I'm also going to score those 3 coins in every season after, plus any other coins that I score. So it's really good to collect coins. Mountains are not the only ways to score coins, and we'll see that in a moment. The ruins, on the other hand, are a little more restricting. So during the game, as I'm flipping explore cards, if a ruins comes up, I'll set that off to the side. Ruins have no time on them. But the next card I flip over, if it is a terrain, as in this is the Great River, I have to choose water, and I can either choose this large shape to get more spaces on my board, or a smaller shape, and I get to cross off a coin. However, since the ruins came up first, I have to put one of these 2 shapes of the Great River through one of my ruins on the board. At the very bottom, we've talked about the coin track. At the very bottom, we have A, B, coin, and the monster symbol, plus the scoring BC, coin, and monster for the second season, and then so on and so forth. How this works is we'll put the number that we score for objective A, then the number we score for objective B, however many coins we get, and the negative points for monsters, which hopefully would be nice if it was 0, and then the total. And we'll do that for each season, and then we'll add up our total, and something special happens with the solo play, and I'll share that with you toward the end. The main action in Cartographers is taking our Explore deck, taking the topmost card, and placing the shape onto the page. Let's take a look at this card. Every Explore card has a few features. It has beautiful artwork in the background. It has either 1 or 2 choices of terrain. For instance, this orchard has, I can either use it for forest or I can use it for farmland. And I would choose primarily based on the objectives that were chosen at the beginning of the game. And we'll cover those in the next section. Additionally, in this card has one shape, this little L shape. So if I were to take this card and let's say I wanted to use farm, I would take that L shape and place it on my board. And what's great about Cartographers is the placement rules allow me to place anywhere on my board, anytime, as long as there's room for the shape. I don't have to connect them to previously placed ones. So here I have the shape. And also you can flip, turn the shape any way you want as long as the main shape is there. And then we'll flip over another card. And it's important to note that in spring, we have at the top left of every one of these cards is a time, and this one says 8. So the orchard took 2 time in spring's 8. So when I draw cards that equal their total numbers of 8 or more, that will tell me that spring is done, and I will score A and B, whatever those scoring cards are. Then everything gets shuffled back in, and we do it again with summer, which is also 8. And then when that's done, we'll score B and C. And then fall is shorter by 1 per 7, and then we'll score C and D at the end. And then finally, winter is the shortest season with 6, and then we will score D and A. Now that seems really easy, and as we go, we'll be filling our board. However, we're also competing with some monsters. We have the Goblin Attack, the Bugbear Assault, the Kobold Onslaught, and the Gnoll Raid. And what these are going to do is we're going to start with 1 in our deck, and if we flip this over, we're going to place those on our page according to a certain set of rules. And I'll explain those right before we start. And they're going to give us negative points if we don't fill in the spaces around these monsters. If we don't have one come up, or if we do, we always put another one in for the next season. So if we get lucky and don't pull one the first in spring, we're going to add another one. And so our chances of pulling one or flipping one over gets greater as the game progresses. And it's possible to never get one, which would be really nice. Now let's talk about how we set up the game. To set up a game of Cartographers, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Explore cards. We're going to take our Monster cards. We're going to give that a shuffle because one of them has to go in with the Explore deck, which is this one. We don't get to look at it, and we'll shuffle that in there real good. We'll set that off to the side, just up there. I'll put it there. Next, we're going to take our Edict cards from left to right, A, B, C, and D. And we can make sure that we have spring on top of summer, on top of fall, with winter at the very bottom. And we can just set that right there. Next, we're going to take our scoring cards. And we have 4 different sets of scoring cards. We have scoring cards that deal with villages. We have scoring cards that deal with farm and water. 4 that feature forest, and 4 that feature spaces on the board. We're going to take each one. You can choose the ones that you want if you wish. Each of them are different, but for this game, I'll explain the one that we choose randomly. Okay. Take one for the forest. That one. One for the farm and water. And one for the spaces on the board. Okay. You do not have to do it this way. You can choose to put these on any of the edicts you want, but just for fun, we're going to mix them up and try to put them as randomly as possible. I'm trying to stare up as I do this, and it's kind of difficult. Okay, so let's talk about what these scoring cards are. So in A, we're going to score something having to do with the villages. So this card says, and points in this game are called reputation stars, indicated by the star here. Earn 3 reputation stars for each cluster of villages spaces that is adjacent to 3 or more different terrain types. So what I want is a cluster of villages that are touching different types of terrain, and in parentheses it does show you the different terrain types, including monsters and mountains, because those are also terrain types. So we're going to try to get our more villages on the board and get them to touch different types of terrain. This is for the spaces on the board. I'm going to earn 3 reputation stars for each complete diagonal line of filled spaces that touches the left and bottom edges of the map. Oof. Okay. So I'm looking for complete diagonal lines of filled spaces. We'll see if I can do that. For C, the Golden Granary. Earn 1 reputation star for each water space adjacent to a ruin space. Earn 3 reputation stars for each farm space on a ruin space. So what I want to do is I want to put water adjacent to my ruins on the board, those light colored pillars, but I really want to put farms on top of them. And that's going to be tough. They're going to get me 3 points, but as you take ruins away, if they come up on the Explorer cards, I'm going to have less choice of where to put my cards. So that's going to be interesting. And finally for the forests, okay, it looks like earn 1 reputation star for each row and column with at least 1 forest space. The same forest space may be scored in a row and a column. So I would like on my, I love that that's at letter D, so I have time to build that up. So I would like a forest space in every single space that covers A through K and 1 through 11. We'll see if I can do that. We'll set the Explorer cards right here. And you can either take a pencil, but I have purchased just some dry erase markers to make it a little more colorful. We have 1 color for each of the terrain, including monsters. I'm going to set that off to the side in the hopes that I don't have to use it. And let's begin. All right, to officially start the game of Cartographers, at the very top where it says Cartographer, I put my name, Andy, and the title is going to be the score that I get at the very end. Now the score for solo play is not just everything added in season 1, 2, 3, and 4. However, I'm going to take all those points and I'm going to subtract each of the points in the silver star at the bottom of each of the scoring cards. So for my villages that want to be next to 3 different types of terrain, I'm going to subtract 21 points from my score at the end. For the Broken Road, I'm going to subtract 24 points. The Golden Granary, 20 points. And the Green Bow, 22 points. It's going to be a low score, but I'm hoping to get to stay above 0. All right, let's see what happens on the first card. We're in spring. We have a time of 8. And we have a time of 2, the Treetop Village. We can either use forest or village. I think I'm going to go with village, even though it would be good to build our forest now. I think I'm going to go with the village because it's a nice 3 and then a 2. And I can put it across some. I can put it next to other things. So I'm going to start at the bottom left since I'm looking for diagonals. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I do little boxes with triangles. And here we have the first shape. So that is my cluster of houses. And now I want to, my villages, I want to put, it's already next to 1 different terrain type, which is mountain, because that counts as a terrain. I'm trying to surround this mountain to get that coin. And as shown in the Broken Road, that bottom leftmost space counts as 3 points. So now I'd like to try to get this diagonal as well and continue that way. Let's do the next one. Next one is the fishing village. Now I don't necessarily want to do village again until I have my other one built up. I might do water, and I love in this game, I don't have to put it next to my other shape I've already placed. I can place it anywhere on the board. Ooh, and a straight line of 4. I think I want to do water. Water wants to be next to mountains from the Golden Granary. I don't want to put it over outposts. So but I would like it to touch the houses. So let's go ahead and just do right here. There. So I'm trying to surround this mountain, get points for my water later on. I would love some smaller shapes with coins. So I'm 4 out of my 8, already halfway there. Next, ooh, the Forgotten Forest. So I have to use forest, the green. I can use this large shape of 4, or I can use 2 in diagonals and get a coin. And I think I'm going to do that because since we have 4 seasons and this is the first season, I'm going to score that coin 4 times. So that's actually not 1 point, it's going to be 4 points for me. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think right off the bat, I see here at I1, if I do that there, I can have another diagonal, and I'm scoring diagonals for the first 2 rounds. So I think that's a good choice. Okay. Oh, and I'll use purple for the coins. I will cross off my leftmost coin. And so now I have 1 diagonal done and a second diagonal done. I think it'd be hard to do the diagonals in the middle first. I think the right idea is to move upward, but it also leaves a lot of space open for monsters if they show up. So I might have to deal with that. Because in this game, when a monster comes up, it's going to show me a direction, and I go from the outermost squares, and I try to place the shape without rotating it. If I can't do it on the first pass around the outer, I go into the inner square and try that. And if I can't place it at all, I ignore it. So there is something to be said for spreading your shapes out enough to not leave enough room for the monsters. However, I don't know what monster is in there, and we're just gonna hope it doesn't come up. So right now I'm at 5 of 8. Ooh, an outpost ruin. So the next card I pull up will have to be through the ruins, and I would love for it to be a farmland because I want farmland there anyway. Oh my goodness. So this is possibly the best card I could get because it's a time of 1. It has to be farmland, and I have a choice. I can do 2 with a coin or the plus symbol. We're not going to do the plus symbol. Ooh, actually no. Oof. If I do the plus symbol, here, I might do the plus symbol. I can get that coin for the mountain and the 3 points for the farm and the ruins. I don't get the coin on the card, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead. I think I talked myself out of the coin on the card. I was ready to do that, and then I decided, well, I think this will be better in the long run because of my diagonals as well. And so since I have surrounded a mountain on top, bottom, left, and right, I'll cross that coin off and cross one off at the bottom. And I'm almost done with another diagonal. Actually, a couple diagonals. Let's see if we can do that. 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the Rift card. So the Rift card is a special card because it's 0 time. It's a really, really beautiful artwork. And it is 1 square of any terrain except for mountains. So I could put monsters if I want to, I don't think I'm going to do that. But I can choose any other one. And I think what I'm going to do, actually, since I already have my village touching a mountain, a forest, and water, so I'm going to get 3 points for that. I think I'm going to, I could put a village between these two right here and possibly score another village, or I can get this other diagonal. I think I'm going to do a village. And I'm going to put that village right between here, because in this game a cluster is any size, any number of shapes, any number of squares in a shape. So that cluster is right now just as important as this cluster, as long as I can get a different shape or a different terrain there. All right, so we have 2, 4, 5, 6. A ruins. Okay, so the next card I pull has to be on a ruins. And it is the Great River. What I love about the Great River is it is time of 1, which puts me at 7. 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which means I'm going to pull another card. So I'm either going to use this big shape here. I might do that, we'll see. Or a 3 with a coin. I always like going with coins, but my problem right now is it has to go through a ruin. So I think what I'm going to do, I might put it here, go along, I have that kind of natural shape, and it goes through a ruin, and it gets me another diagonal. Ooh, however, I don't get the points for the river. Choices, choices, choices. Ooh, interesting. Since I want, oh, I have to do a ruin, so I can't put it in the middle here. I'm going to get 3 points. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and forego the coin and the points for the rivers, because I want, that's only 1 point. I want 3 points for a diagonal, and I have one sitting, waiting right here. Okay. So now I have one diagonal, a diagonal of 3, a diagonal of 4, and it would be great if I could get that diagonal of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be wonderful. We'll see. Most likely, this is my last card because I'm at 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think there are only 2 ruins in the game. And now we're at 9, and so this will be the last. And unfortunately, this card will not help me for my other Edict A for my villages, and that's okay. But I think I want to use it for the farmland. Let's see how I do that. So I have villages or farmland, and it's that classic Tetris shape, 3 across and 1 up in the middle. I don't think there's a way I can get the village to touch 3 different terrain. I can get 2, putting it between there. But you know what? I said I was going to go for the broken road more, so let's score points with that. And if I'm going to do that, I kind of want to put it right here to get that other diagonal. Let's do that. And it's just separated enough, I might be able to get more terrain to touch those by the end of the game. Not sure if that's good or bad right now, but I'm really working those diagonals. Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Spring will be done, and we're going to score A and B. All of these go back in the deck. We'll go ahead and do this now. We take our monsters. And I'll turn this sideways just to remind myself that I need to shuffle that in. So let's go ahead and score for Edict A, which is 3 points for each village cluster that is next to 3 different terrain types. I believe I only have one. This village is touching forest, mountain, and water, so that's 3 points. This village is only touching 1, and this village is touching 2. But there's a lot of opportunities for, in winter, to get more points there. So what we do is I have 3 points for A, and I'll put 3 on the card right there. Now for B, I chose to go that route, so I'm looking for diagonals from the left side to the bottom, and the bottom leftmost space does count. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then coins, I have 2 coins, 1 from a card and 1 from the mountain. And then, thank goodness, I have no monsters, so that is 0. So we add that up real fast, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's a pretty good score starting out. 17 points. We flip over spring to summer. And this reminds me that I need to shuffle, so we have 2 monsters in here now. All right. And so we will be scoring the Broken Road one more time, and after this season, after summer, I don't care about diagonals anymore. So I'm going to try to get the most out of this as possible, and then we will start placing elsewhere. And then I really want to focus on the Golden Granary, and I want to try to get farmland in those ruins as much as possible for a lot of points. Okay, so here we go. The Hinterland Stream, we have not used this one yet. So kind of that big L shape. We've got farmland and water. I can't place that. I can't place that right there. The mountain's in the way. This one doesn't really help with my villages since they're both already touching farmland. I need forest really there. Forest is the other one that I'm kind of neglecting. I only have I think like 4 points with that. So I would like some more forest. So I think what I'll do is we'll actually, we'll go out here and start taking up some space just in case the monsters show up. Okay. And again, I love this game as I can place my shapes anywhere. They don't have to be touching. All right, next. Ooh, the orchard. I am really tempted to use farmland against another 2, but I need to start scoring some forest points because at the end I'm going to take away 22 points from that card. Actually, I will do that because I really need to put this by my houses, my village, I always call them houses, my villages. And can I use that shape in a way to get both? Let's see. And again, you can flip these any way that you need. I can, and I think what I'm going to do is let's see, 1, 2, and 3. Let's do that. So I'm going to go up 2 and over 3. Okay. So now this little cluster of village, 1 space, is touching 3 different ones. So I need 1 more type to touch this village. It needs to be water or monster. All right, here we go. Ruins. And it is, farmland. I think I got farmland the last time that happened. That's kind of nice. So I can do a plus or a 2 with a coin, and it's a 1. I had where I wanted to put it, but it has to be over an outpost. So I think I'm going to use the 2 and get a coin. Might as well start getting those coins now. So I'm going to place this. I want to leave this space open over here for water to touch this village. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just do, oh, I don't know. Let's go right there. And I will switch to purple and take a coin. And again, now for this season, I will be earning 3 points right now for my coins. Next one, we're at 5 out of 8. The Rift Lands. Okay. And that again is for 0 points, or 0 time. I think, let me see. I do need another diagonal, so I'll probably do that. And with that, I'm gonna do. There's no point in using a village because I can't get it to cover another one unless I extend the village first. So we're gonna throw we'll throw a forest in there. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That gets us some points. Okay. All right, so still 5. Next one is the Great River. I find that when I'm shuffling these, I get very similar cards. I mean, there's only so many. The Great River. Ooh, this is the one I want because I'm going to place this up here and get my village squared away over there. I really want this coin, but I wonder if I can get this shape to fit and touch the village and the mountain. I think I can. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, I had to think about it for a second. Here. And I'm pretty sure 2, 2, and 1. Yeah, that's the shape right there. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm visualizing the shape, turns out to be wrong. Okay. The good news is I didn't get a coin there, but it did give me 3 touching this village cluster. All right, so we're at 2, 4, 5, and 6. Next one is the Treetop Village. All right, I think I want to use this for. Is there anywhere? Ooh, I can actually. Okay, this is interesting. I think I can use either forest or village. I want to use forest, but that shape actually goes really well right here. And if I did village, it's touching 3 different. Oh, I don't know if I can pass it up. I think I'm gonna have to do that. I know I'm going to be waiting for those points, but those are going to be big points at the end. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, I feel like the forest points are going to come back to haunt me. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we're going to score. We'll go ahead and take these back. We have not seen a monster yet. All right, so we're going to score the Broken Road, and that's the last time we're going to score it. So we get 3 points. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was missing these 2. I don't think I have any others. So 5 times 3 is 15. I love the little watermarks as it increases as we go. A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. Now C, we're going to get 1 point for every water that or river that is adjacent to a ruined space. And oh, I read that wrong. Oh my goodness, I said a mountain space. My apologies. It's adjacent to a ruined space. That's okay. I think I still kind of did that. Oh my goodness. And then for the farmland, we went 3 points for if it's on a ruined space. There is another scoring card for water and farm where it's adjacent to mountains. I can't believe I misread that. That's okay. It even says on the card. That's all right. Let's see what happens. So I have water next to the ruins, actually on it. So that's 1 point. 2 points. 2 points for water. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So not bad for having misread the card. I have 3 coins and still no monsters. Okay. So 15 and 11 is 26, 27, 28, 29. All right. Doing well so far. So I should not misread that again. So we're going to turn that sideways just to remind myself that I'm not focused on that anymore. We're going to take another monster. Okay. And give it a good shuffle. And now we're focused on farmland and water correctly this time. Luckily, a lot of the mountains are near ruins. And then I really need to start working on my forests and spreading those out along the board. Here we go. Okay, so the Kobold Onslaught. And so the way this works is on the card itself, it has the shape, that classic Tetris shape, and then in the top corner it has 4 boxes, and one of them is purple. It's actually this one, the bottom left. And so what it's telling me to do, and we're going to go this direction. So I'm going to start in the bottom corner, and I'm going to go around this way. And I'm going to stop the moment I can find a spot for that space to fit, or for that shape to fit. And I already see it. So if I go up here, obviously it doesn't fit here. It does fit right there, so I don't have to move very far. And I am lazy. I don't try to draw the monster symbol. I just put an M. Okay, it did cover up one of my ruins. So that actually took 3 points away from me, possible points, because I only have 1 more ruin space that I can place farmland. And the way monsters work is every space that is empty around the monsters counts as -1. So this would be -1, and if they share a space, it still counts as 1. So I have -1, -2. So that's only costing me on the page 2. Okay, so that kobold will be done. It won't come back in. And let's go to the next one. Oh my goodness, a ruin. So this is actually going to hurt because I have 1 more ruin spot. And if it's not farmland, I'm going to be done with the farmland for that golden granary. And it's not. Okay. So I have a choice to make. I have the marshlands for 2. Oh, let me go ahead and move this to fall. I get ahead of myself. Okay. We have forest, which I said I needed to do, or water. Okay. Real fast, I did just realize that I made an error in scoring. A couple of them. It is for each water space that is adjacent to a ruins. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 2. So I should actually increase this by, so I'll go ahead and recount them. So I have, for farmlands, I have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points, which gives me 31. Okay, so now back to the marshlands. That's a kind of a weird shape, but I can get a couple points from it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do water, and it has to go through it. Oh man, that's too bad that that one's left. Okay. No, I'm gonna do forest. I'm trying to extend out as much as I can here. So we're gonna go here. Okay. Ooh, this is getting rough. So that's 2 out of 7. Next one. The fishing village. I am still going to score for houses at the very end, and right now this cluster is actually touching 4 with the monsters. So I have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it's really tough because I can put another village right there because it'll be touching water, forest, and mountain. And you know what? I kind of want to do that. Yep, we're going to do it. I do love the village scoring cards. I mean, I've got a couple mountains here that mountain's really close to finishing. If I can get a shape somewhere in there to take some negative points away, I'm definitely going to do that. And then get a coin for that mountain. So I'm at 4 out of 7. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here they both come. The Bugbear Onslaught, or Bugbear Assault. This one's an interesting one as it's 2, then with a space, and 2 again without changing the shape. I'm going to start in the top right. This is not going to be hard to do, and I'm going to move this way. This is definitely not hard to do, as I haven't built a whole lot here. So I start in this corner, and it's right here where I can fit that shape. And that is a problem because that cut off a lot of space that I was going to use for water. We'll see what comes up. Okay. I guess the best news with that monster is that it took one more space, adjacent space for that mountain, if we're thinking positively. All right, and let's do the next one. So I know there's no more monsters. We have farmland. Oh, let's go ahead. I'm going to use the 2 for the coin, and I need to start thinking about getting some of these monsters taken away. I could put the 2 right here, because right now these monsters are scoring me negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I could take away 2 of those right now, but I'm going to take away 1 and get 2 coins. And that might be the wrong play, but I want my coins. So we'll cross off the coin on the mountain and 1 for the card. Okay. Whew. 5 out of 7 and 7 out of 7. We have the homestead, which is farmland or village, and that 3 down and 1 across. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. Oh, you know what? There's no purpose for me to use farmland anymore because all of my ruins are covered. So I'm going to do village, and I think I can score. Ooh, no. If I were to place this here, it would touch my other village, and it's not a separate cluster. That was going to be a perfect move. Let me rethink this. In that case, I'm going to go right here and take away some monster points, because I don't want to score a lot of negatives. Okay. So right now that's only scoring, or that's touching, that village is touching one terrain type monsters. I'd like to put some more things around it. And that is 2, 4, 6, and 7. Oh. We'll go ahead and do that. And now it's time to score. So for C, let's score this correctly this time. We're going to score 1 point for water that's adjacent to ruins, and we're going to score 3 points for each of our farms on a ruin. So let's start with our farmlands. We have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 again. Nothing changed on that one. Okay, so I've actually neglected this one, the forest. I feel like I always neglect the forest, depending on which card. This one, definitely. So this is going to score 1 point for each row and column with at least one forest space. The same forest space can be counted in a row and a column. So let's go through the letters. So A, we have, I'll get a little closer. We have 1. All 3 of these count as 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to go 1 through 11. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points. That's not bad. Our coins, we have 5 coins now. And then here are the monsters. So we have -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess that's not terrible. Okay. So 5 minus 5 is 0. 13 and 17 is 30. So actually, not too bad. We only dropped 1 point. Okay. And now the golden granary is done. We flip the fall into winter, and this is the shortest round. We add the last monster and shuffle. So we know there's only one. Well, no, there's 2 monsters in there. Okay, this could be terrible, but we'll see. So we are focused on putting forest where forest isn't in the columns or rows, and we're looking to score big for our villages. Let's see what happens. Fishing village. Okay, so I don't care about water anymore unless it is going to help me with putting next to villages. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't normally do this, but if I extend this village down here, it does connect to the monsters, but it does give me 1, 2, 3. Oh, is that the right idea? Maybe not. Nope, it is not, because I'm going to go ahead and do this. I can do that a different way. I'm going to go down here and get points that way. Apologies, I saw that one at the top first, and then as I was saying it, I saw the one at the bottom. So here I have a new village cluster next to mountain, forest, and water, and there's another 3 points. Let's see if we can keep that up. 2 out of 6. The next one is the farmland. So I don't care about farmland. However, I'm gonna use this for the coin and to get points away from my monsters. And I think what I want to do is I actually can a 3-point gain if I place it right here. That will surround the mountain, 2 coins, and take away or get a point back from the monster. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Okay. We'll take that point from the mountain and put that one down there, and then 1 for the farmland. All right, 3 out of 6. I do like these ones because it gives me more plays for the last round. Okay. So the Forgotten Forest, time of 1. I love the diagonal 2 with a coin. I this is gonna, this 2 and 2, the 4 boxes is gonna give me more points, and I already see where I'm gonna put it. So, but to talk it through, I want to put it where I can score the most in columns and rows. But I think what I want to do is, I don't know if I want to do that. I was going to put it right here and surround that mountain, or I could just use the 2 and surround that mountain and get 2 coins. I have talked myself into doing that. So we're going to go like this. And again, you can flip and turn the image any way you want, as long as the idea of the shape stays the same. Okay. So here is the mountain coin and the coin for my card. And see, already starting to build up a lot of coins for this last round. 2, 3, 4. Most likely this is my last one, unless it's a rift card. It is not. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Treetop Village. Okay, we've had the Treetop Village, I think, every round. 3 and a 2, and it can be forest or village. Okay, I don't know if I can fit another village in here with that shape. Oh, good news is I'm not going to have any more monsters. I think the best thing to do is to use it for forest. And where do I do that? I'm trying to see. This column isn't used. That's the only, okay, that's the only column that's not used. Ooh, this is actually not a good shape for the very last round. I think I've wasted that village right there. Unless I use this as a village to go elsewhere. That's a good shape right there. But it connects those 2 villages together, and I don't think I want to do that. This is tough. Alright, so I don't know if I can quickly find a way to get village to fit and not touch others, so we're going to use it as forest. In the event that I couldn't place the shape at all, I would get 1 square of that type. I apologize for the cut there. I just realized my video stopped recording. What I did was I took the Treetop Village, that 3 and 2, and I placed it right there. I was getting a little bit of analysis paralysis, and I'm not sure if there was a better space, a much better space to use. If you see that there was a better space, mention it in the comments below, and I'll take a look back at this sheet and see how it would have changed the game. But that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that finishes winter, and so we are done with the game. Let's clean up and score winter, which is D and A. So for D, we're going to score the forests again. So let's see what we have here. We'll start with A through K. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's pretty good. And then we'll go columns 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so 20 points for D. I'd say that's pretty good. And now what I've been waiting for is the villages. 3 points for each cluster of villages that are adjacent to 3 or more different terrain types. Let's see how we did. This one, unfortunately, is only next to 2, which is monster and forest. So I believe we have, this one is touching 1, 2, 3. This one is 1, 2, 3 because the mountains count. This one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This little one is 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points. Okay. For coins, we ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 coins. I have played a game where I maxed out coins. That was a good feeling. It's always a good feeling when you can max out coins. And for monsters, we have, I think I got it down to 3. -1, -2, -3. -3. Okay. Give me 1 second and I will do the solo subtractions and score this season and give my final score. All right, everyone, I have done the scoring. So for season 1, scored 17, season 2, 31, season 3, 30, and season 4 was surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be with 44. Those added all up. If you can see, I got 122, my chicken scratch over there. And so 122 would be a normal game if I was playing with multiple people. But when you take all these cards, I'll show you. So we're going to subtract each of the numbers here. So 22 plus 21 plus 24 plus 20. The math is 87. I promise that's an 8. 87. So 122 minus 87 gives me 35. And the reason I'm really excited about 35 is I've never actually achieved this before. So here in the booklet, they have have to determine your score total numbers in the lower corners and then subtract it. Queen, I believe her name is Gimnax, awards you a title based on the highest rating that you met or surpassed. So at the very bottom we have -30 is an oblivious ink drinker. -20 is a dim-witted doodler. It's kind of mean. -10 is an inept assistant. -5 is an amateur assessor. 0 is an apprentice surveyor. 10 is journeyman topographer. 20 is master mapsmith. And up until today, that's the highest I've gotten. And if you can get 30 plus, you are a legendary cartographer. So in this instance, in this game, I managed to get a title of legendary cartographer. And so that is Cartographers, a role player tale. Thank you for joining me at the table for a solo playthrough of Cartographers. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you again, and I hope you'll join me for my next video.